Straya, how are you going? How you going? Are you right? I hope you are. Why is that, you might ask? Well, I'll tell you what, it's Tuesday, October 8 all day, and we're doing more preseason guff. So I really hope you're good, because you should just strap in, because this is the fun show. The fun show. We're going full optimism in this one. That's right, it's NBA Straya. I'm your host, James Clement. You can see me on the official NBL Supercoach show, AFL Today, NFL Straya, probably something else I can't remember. But either way, here in the Sports Today studios, aka the James Clements Excellence in Podcasting Memorial Studios. And I'll tell you what, preseason is underway. All I care about preseason is highlights, because that's all I get and that's all I care about. That's all I watch, because it's just like, oh, that was neat. You learn nothing else basically apart from like, wow, it's really easy to dunk on Walker Kessler. Anyway, we're going to do some preseason vibes today. What do you mean by that, Jim? I can't hear you ask. We're going to give you a reason to be excited about every team going into this season. And as we do that, we're going to rank them. This is a two-parter. Check this out. We're going to rank them in terms of excitement as to how much I actually want to watch them. That's pretty good, right? I hope so. Because then we've got top fives as well. Players we're excited to see again. Top 5 rookies we can't wait for. That's pretty straightforward. And top 5 most intriguing dudes. Who are the 5 dudes I'm most intrigued by? I think they're also kind of prove-it dudes this year. So that should be interesting. I also thought about coaches that needed to perform, but like considering a third of the coaches like just got changed over during the off-season, like seems a bit silly. Looking at you, Doc Rivers. Right, that'll be easy. That'll be fun. Trust me, we'll have a little bit of news at the start. Outside of that, let's get into it. Episode 1133 of NBA Straya. Oh, let's go!
This is Joe Ingles, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
So that's why you got to watch the YouTube.
Watch out for the Shaq Attack.
You get to see the Tiddly Widdly. It's pretty good. Got to press the buttons right. Jeez, what's going on? Got to watch out for the Shaq Attack. Some great feedback on my Shaq Attack from last week about how much I didn't want a gift box from Shaq, because that involved rooting him. Well, what do you reckon, producer Gerald? Is it you rooting him or he rooting you? I think it's the second one. Anyway, let's get into it. Bit of news. What do we do? The daily whoosh, it's a whip around. I actually had that thought. Actually, I think I was dropping up the squid this morning at school. Walking back, I'm like, oh, tell you what, it's all like a year and a half after, year? Something like that. Not even a year. Bloody hell, it's only been like 6 months. Surgery on the roof of my mouth, and like, it still feels weird. And so when I do the whip crack, whoosh, like you can still feel it, but it is, it's healed a lot of the way. I was like, oh, that's kind of neat. Modern medicine, what a world we live in. It was also because I'm like, oh, I've got to book in to see the doctor about something else. But anyway, let's get into this. The news. Shams. Are you ready for some Shams wow? How about the Shams grenade? The Shams grenade, I reckon that might be it. Because Woj is gone from ESPN, our erstwhile, leading newsbreaker in the NBA. And Shams Charania is going to be replacing him at ESPN. Despite already appearing on the Pat McAfee show, while also working for the Athletic. So, now, if you know me, which you probably do, if you're listening to this show, the Woj-Shams rivalry, I fucking loved it. There is nothing that gives me succor like just two grown men fucking hating each other. It's awesome. And now Woj is like bowed out. He's like, fuck, peace, bro, I'm out. And Shams just takes his old job. There's something weird about Shams and his weird dead-eyed dedication to breaking news that basically, it does, look, in the grand scheme of things, being first with news in this way doesn't really fucking matter. Like, it's gonna come out. The teams will announce it in 15 fucking minutes time. But Shams got there first. We're gonna have our alerts on so we know right away. What do you do with that news for the next 15 minutes? Nothing. It doesn't matter. And that's why when they're paying Woj all that fucking money, ESPN's like, how do we monetize this? And they had no fucking clue. Right? The Athletic, same with Shams. It's like, he's a fucking horrible writer. So is Woj. That's like a weird sort of like, what's the meme? The fucking arms crossed fucking arm wrestling meme. It's like shit writing, but breaking news before anybody else. Shams and Woj, hands clasped. But now Shams is at, ESPN. And we get to see his weird dead-eyed fucking glare even more. I can't wait. When I say I can't wait, I mean, that dude he kind of sucks. Like, he's just a weirdo. It's, I can't sleep ever. Look at my screen time. It's somehow 27 hours a day. And you're like, who fucking cares? Like, oh no, he broke the news of the trade that we all knew was coming anyway. Oh, but Jim, how would we have known about the trade in the first place? He's so deep in the fucking pockets of all these agents. Like, who cares at this point? Anyway, what I really hate, though, is the ball tickling of the, Wendell Carter signed a 3-year, $59 million extension with the Orlando Magic, according to his 2 fucking agents. And you're like, all right, Shams, that's enough ball gargling for today. Anyway, speaking of which, Wendell signed an extension with the Orlando Magic for $59 million, according to his 2 agents. They probably work for CAA or some shit. 3 years, $59 million. So this is what annoys me about Shams and shit like that. You can just say that. Cool. What does it mean? Contextualize it for us, Jim. That's my job. So Wendell is this weird sort of tweener forward center for the Orlando Magic men. And you sort of look at him and go, what do you do that bumps us above every other sort of team in the East, in the morass? When you look at someone like Cleveland on the Orlando Magic's tier, right, in that second tier in the East behind basically Boston, Philly, and New York. I'm not willing to put Milwaukee into that top 3 tier just yet. I want to see a little bit more Dame heading into this season, but still. Anyway, point being, like, you look at someone like Cleveland, they've got Jared Allen, go the fro Jared Allen, they've got Mobley. And you look at the Magic and they just have a bunch of dudes who are fucking big. Just all of them. Like, they're the team that can roll out this awesome lineup where, like, the smallest dude is 6'5" and it's Jalen Suggs and you're like, he's going to fucking tear my head off in a second. Like, that's cool. Wendell sort of fits this weird, you can play him at the 5, you can play him at the 4, you can throw Johnny Isaac in there. And to get him for 3 years, $59 million is cheap as fuck. That's awesome. So that's a massive win for the Magic men. Look, we see this all the time with young teams. They get a cap crunch. Once Paolo's fucking rookie extension sort of kicks in, you've got Franz Wagner's rookie extension sitting there on the books already. You've got Mo Wagner and his big fucking pumpkin head. Like, there's just a bunch of dudes who are going to get paid a bunch. And Orlando have, like, locked in Johnny Isaac, Wendell, and stuff like that at below market rates. That's fucking awesome. The thing is, they still really just need fucking Paolo and Franz just to pop even more, to push them over the top. It's nice to have those ancillary pieces, cheap as chips, or at least relatively cheap as chips. But you still need the top end shit to work, as we see with Boston, right? You've got the 2 absolute 1A dudes in Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, but it is the next tier down, like the Derek Whites, the Giroux that really make that engine sing, and then like the likes of Al and the extreme zinger meal, etc. They turn you into a legit contender. Orlando is sort of building something similar, but they just need that top tier shit to really hit. Hey, other news, Shaden Sharp got injured. Jeez, that's just a fucking evergreen tweet at this point, isn't it? Poor bloke, the adductor one last year. 4 to 6 weeks with the shoulder injury. That is brutal. And then the final little bit of news, I mean, apart from Patrick Ewing hanging out with the Knicks again, which is kind of nice. Every Knicks fan is like, this is neat. We were good last year, and before that, we were good around Melo, and before that, it was Patrick Ewing. It's like, yes, the Knicks have been shit for a really long time. But he's like, after he got shit canned out of Georgetown, big Patrick Ewing. I don't know, he's returning as like an ambassador. And you're like, I love this. Every team, every NBA team needs to have like, you know, a battery of like a cabal, if you will, of former players. They're just there. Like, this is why everyone talks about Miami culture, like Pat Riley, Miami culture. No, fuck that. It's Alonzo Mourning always looming next to Pat Riley. He's going to kick your fucking head in if you do anything wrong. Like, that's culture. Like, Patrick Ewing needs to be like looming over the back of Tibbs going, if you put a fucking foot wrong, young fella, I'm going to knock your fucking block off. That's culture. Love that shit. Like, Alonzo, don't get it twisted. Like, culture is Pat Riley going, do it this way, and then Alonzo Mourning going, fucking do it this way, I'm going to put you in a headlock, motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? All right. But sticking with the Knicks. So, this was really, really fun. You might remember last week in the pre-season return show, we were talking about the Karl Anthony Towns trade. It's pretty big. Blockbuster. Then it came out because everyone's like, how's this actually going to work with the Knicks and the salary cap? And it turns out the Knicks are smart. I know, who knew? I mean, they've been smart for a few years now, basically ever since Phil Jackson went, I'm too old for this shit, fuck off. Boom, off he went. But there's a sort of piece of the CBA, so this is the nerd shit, right? Where you can't aggregate minimum contracts in a trade. So the Knicks paid 3 dudes the minimum contract, like $1 over the minimum contract, so it wasn't the minimum. I'm like, that's fucking awesome. You legends. So they paid Daquan Jeffries 3 years, 8.2 mil. Charlie Brown, this motherfucker's going to try to kick a football and some kid's going to pull it out of the road. Lucy, what's up? 3 years, 7.7 mil. And Dwayne Washington Jr., don't forget his, Dwayne Washington Sr., 3 years, 7.2 mil. So those are quite literally a tick over the minimum contract, like $1, which is awesome. Because the first year salary for all 3 of those dudes is fully guaranteed, is above the minimum salary, but years 2 and 3 are non-guaranteed. So you pay them that 1 year salary, waive them, nothing on the books. There you go, trade done. So Karl Anthony Towns goes from Minnesota, as well as James Nagy from Charlotte. Interesting. Minnesota get Julius Randle. Julius, I don't dare DiVincenzo. Cater beats Diop, which is pretty cool. And that top 25, top 30, well, the 2025 top 13 protected Detroit first from the Knicks. That first is top 11 protected in 26, top 9 protected in 27, and it turns into a 27 second from Detroit, if not conveyed in 25, 26, or 27. Fascinating. Because Detroit is still shit. The East is pretty good. Can Detroit take a jump in the next 3 years to make it worth that pick? Who fucking knows? Probably not. And Charlotte are just hanging out going, we've got cap space. Come use it. Let's go. Let's go. They get a 25 second from Denver or Philly via Minnesota. I love this. 26 second from Golden State via the Knicks. A 2031 second from the Knicks. And as mentioned, Daquan, Charlie Brown, football, and Dwayne Washington. So, and they also get $7.2 million cash to basically pay for those fucking things. That's awesome. Absolute chaos. So the Cat thing is done. He's already played a preseason game now, but like the machinations of that trade are rad. I fucking love it. And it also throws into stark relief how much the fucking AFL trade fucking period sucks a giant dong because they just can't figure out how to do cool shit like this. Do you know how much more fucking insane the AFL trade period would be if you could do shit like this as opposed to, well, you've got to have recompense because it's bad here, it is Josh Battle and Tom and you can't trade fucking draft picks in 2031 because we're all cowards apparently. Anyway, grow a pair AFL is what I'm trying to say. Love the NBA. Right. So with all that in mind, that's about all the news. There'll be more injury, like as preseason games pop off. We've got the Breakers over there at the moment, which is pretty fun. Watching them, like, I don't know, some of these games are not competitive, but still. It is kind of nice to sort of like showcase some of the talent on the Breakers in front of those NBA players, scouts, coaches, etc. So you can see like why they do it, which is kind of neat. It's just weird that it's in the middle of the NBL season. But anyway, what are you going to do? So good job by the Breakers. Righto. I did throw out the 7 actual contenders last week. I wanted to hear back from people what they thought. I think everyone's going to land it on like around that 7 of the Celtics, Knicks, and Philly in the East. And probably Denver, Minnesota, OKC. What about Dallas in the West? You know, how do we all feel about that now? I think that's the top 7 I'm going to stick with. So for the next 2 weeks, what do we got? We've got 2 more weeks before the season starts. Basically, we'll be breaking down awards. We'll be doing team wins and over and unders over the next 2 weeks. And, of course, as we do those team win over and unders, we're going to be coming up with, like, what the 15 seeds and East Conference will be and all that sort of shit. So that'll basically lock down our contender vibes. But that's where we're starting from. So that's all well and good. Should we do some fun stuff? What do you reckon, producer Gerald? He's like, yeah, do the fun stuff, Jim. Come on, hurry up. Let's take a quick break so I can catch my breath and play a song and also have some water. We'll be back right after, I'm going to say, this one.
This is Cam Glidden.
This is Anthony Drimmick.
This is Mitch McCarron.
This is Jason Kadee.
This is Darryl McDonald.
Hey guys, this is Hugh Greenwood.
Yo, what's going on? This is Illy.
This is Mark Worthington. or commonly known as Wertho, and you're listening to NBA Straya.
You listen to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
And you're listening to NBA Straya.
You're listening to NBA Straya.
All right. So that's where you got to watch on YouTube. You can see a bit of air guitar. Shit, yeah. Bit of house. That's how good's this. Right. Let's do it. Fun rankings. Why you should be excited about every team in the NBA this year. I just put this together just because I'm like, you know what I fucking love? Basketball. Oh, really, Jim? Do you also like beers? Fuck off. Anyway, point being, fun rankings. I wanted to go, I'm excited about each of these teams, but how much? Like, how much am I excited for them? Like, how much fun? And like, other people do this as league pass rankings and shit like that. But it's more about when I see the schedule, like that day's TV schedule, who am I getting pumped for the most? Like, it doesn't matter who they might be playing or whatever, but I'm like, I fucking need to watch that team for these reasons. So, it was kind of like, let's break them up into tiers a little bit, which is like appointment viewing. They're on, you just have to fucking sit and watch them. They're going to be awesome. Like, it's going to be fun as shit. It's Clockwork Orange shit, producer Joe. We're going to fucking, what do they do with the eyeballs and shit in the eyeball machine? You got to watch it and shit. But that's good. Clockwork Orange was bad because they were brainwashing him and shit. Pretty sure that's what happened in that movie. All I remember is they were drinking milk. And there was a weird bar in Melbourne named after it too, right next to where I used to work at Metro. Strange fucking stuff. Yeah, anyway, good story, Jim. Let's do it. Appointment viewing. The Clockwork Orange tier. They're eminently watchable. Basically, no matter who they play, they'll be fun. These are the top tier fun teams this year. The New York City Knicks. What? The New York City Knickerbockers of New York City, Jim? Yes, that's right. Why is that? Well, they've got two fucking new awesome pieces in Mikal Bridges and Karl Anthony Towns. They've already got Jalen Brunson. You've got people that go, he could win the MVP. It's like, I don't know if he will, but still. They did lose Dante DiVincenzo, but they've still got Josh fucking Hart. And look, they are a little bit more thin on the ground, but they've still got the OG Anunoby. They've still got the other Mitch Robinson to come back at some point. There is very few things better in the history of the NBA than when the Knicks are good and how awesome it is in Madison Square Garden, how fun that shit is to watch. So if they're up and about, and they will be, because the bottom of the East is shit this year, so the Knicks are going to kick the fuck out of a bunch of teams, win a bunch of games. They'll spend the season basically integrating Karl Anthony Towns, basically try to figure out how he and Brunson work the best together. You plug in OG and Bridges and Hart and co around them, and you are fucking laughing, mate. This could be awesome. Now, at the same time, it is also coached by Tibbs, so presumably the defense will be good, but they're all playing fucking 48 minutes and they all get hurt in the second third of the season, and they flame out in the playoffs. But it'll be fun, at least initially. Dallas. And number 2. But Jim, isn't this just a bunch of Kyrie and Luka dribbling? Yes, but now they've also got Klay Thompson. Remember? Klay. That's going to be awesome. Because I think this is the biggest thing about that weird Dallas team last year. That, don't forget, fucking made the finals in the NBA. And they had no one who could basically shoot threes. Sniper alert, Reggie Bullock. Remember him? He was on Houston last year. He wasn't even on this Dallas team. Tim Hardaway Jr., he's like, I'm going to shoot threes. And it's like, don't. Oh, he fucking did it. What are you doing? He had like some good moments, but geez, this Dallas team this year, it's one of those ones where you look at Derek Lively, you look at their other big dude. Who the fuck was it? The big fella. I've got him. Don't worry about it. Derek Lively and Dan Gafford. And you're like, this all sort of came together in the last quarter of the season, and then they made the fucking finals. How much more fun could this be after they made the PJ Hamilton-Washington trade, all this sort of shit? My favorite shit, though, is they got Najee Marshall as well as Klay. Najee Marshall might have a bigger impact, and this is one of my big calls, I reckon. Najee Marshall might be more important for this team than fucking Klay Thompson. Like, what are we doing? So I think they're going to be awesome. They've got these big rangy wings on either side of Luka and Kyrie, as well as the two bigs that they can platoon. This team's going to be fucking weird, fun, janky, and the big problem is it's going to be coached by Jason Kidd, who I trust about as far as I could punch him in the head. Wait, no, that's what he used to do. Remember punching? Yeah, don't Google that one. But still, adding Clay to this mix, next to Luka, Kyrie, they drive, they kick, there's Clay, bang. Like, what's going to happen? That's fucking fun as. Sign me up. OKC. J-Dub third year, Chet, SGA, no Josh Giddey up. The hierarchy is laid out though because of that. You don't have Giddey trying to like fit this Giddey SGA pairing together. You just go, SGA, this is your team. Look at me, I'm the captain now, he says, but in a Canadian accent. Oh, look at me, eh? I'm the captain now. Oh yeah, I'm the captain. That's definitely not how he talks. But still, the hierarchy in OKC is set. It's SGA, you've got Chet, you've got J-Dub, you've got fucking Bone... I want to call him Baldy McGee, but Alex Caruso putting on a Caruso. Like, this team makes so much fucking sense. It's so deep. It's so good. They're going to be young, fun, and just absolutely flying around again. But they already won 57 games last year. They're already fucking good. Minnesota, that's going to be fun. Why is that, Jim? Well, Minnesota's going to be good because Ant-Man is just going to go, all right, so no Karl Anthony Towns, fucking check this out. Bang, off he goes. All right, now subset. Well, Minnesota as well. They've got Julius Randle. They've got Ant-Man. They've got Rudy Gobert. They've got Jingles. Fuck yes. Sign me up. They've got some rookies. They've got some fun dudes on this team. And sort of seeing how this next level Ant-Man goes is going to be fucking fascinating. But you see Minnesota pop up on your league pass this year and you go, yeah, fuck yes. I'm going to watch this. Check it out. Ant-Man could dunk on 4 dudes at once. I'm not even exaggerating. He could. He probably fucking will. It's going to be awesome. And a late addition to appointment viewing, eminently watchable. The Houston Rockets. Dude, they've got Jalen Green, Cam Whitmore dunking on everybody in fucking preseason. They're coached by Ime Udoka. The defense should take a little bit of a step up. They've got Tari Eason. They've got Jabari Smith. They've got Şengün. They've got, Bruce, Steven Adams, all out there talking shit about all these brews who are out there asking him stupid questions in the preseason, brew. He's like, what the fuck you asked me that for, brew? I'm just a basketball player, right? And watching all of the Steven Adams in Houston like chats, I'm like, I think I've actually nailed his accent over the years. I thought I was taking the piss, but I've actually nailed it. Anyway, but Houston, I love talking about how too many dudes. Too many dudes is like a thing with the AFL Today show. Too many dudes. Houston have too many dudes, but they're clearly split up into old dudes and young dudes, which is okay when you've got too many dudes. Because the old dudes is, we're the old dudes. We'll do our thing when needed. And the young dudes are like, we're going to do the things all the fucking time. And that's fun as shit. So it's going to be chaos. I can't wait. They've got Jock Landale. They've got they signed Kung Fu Thon. Yeah! And they've also got, the Unabomber, Jack McVeigh. This is going to be, they've got 3 Aussies at the moment. Kind of. Thon is on an Exhibit 10. I don't think he makes the roster. But by the same token, Jack McVeigh, 2-way, let's fucking go. 2-way Jack McVeigh. Hey, just made that up. And Rock'em Sock'em Block'em Jock'em Landale's out there just talking shit. I fucking love this team. The problem is, if Jalen Green reverts back to the Jalen Green of the first 2/3 of the season, the last season, yeah, that's going to be shit. But there's just so much fucking weird athleticism on that team. They're fun as fuck. Right. A subset of the appointment viewing are the Nerdgasms. This is the one that all the fucking nerds are, oh, Jesus, look, did you see that? Oh, God. Like, the fucking nerds just blow their load about these teams. It's Boston, it's the Spurs, and it's Denver. It's a tier of them all, like those 3 by themselves, right? Boston, they're the reigning champs. They can put this fucking entire thing into cruise control all season this year. As I said, the East is shit in the bottom half. So they're going to win like 55, 60 games without breaking a sweat. They can afford to bring back the extreme zinger mill whenever they need to. But they're the deepest team in the league. They've got quality at every position. They've got some young dudes that can fucking throw it there. Boston are just going to be fun. It's nice, happy, nerd fun where it's like, Jason Tatum doing a thing, Jaylen Brown doing a thing. Look at Drew Holiday, he's the most underrated player in the league. Is he? Whatever. Derek White's going to be carving it up. They'll be fine. They'll be fun. The thing is, because Joey Muzz is a fucking psycho. Oh, bro, I'll fucking kick your fucking head in if you don't try to win this fucking game for me, Jason. Nah, I'm just kidding, bro. Let's go watch the town again, hey. So he's such a psycho that you know he's not going to, like, let them cruise. So that'll be fun. They'll still be kicking the shit out of teams middle of the year, and you're like, this is a bit intense, but it'll be fun. Spurs, Wemby has a point guard. That's all you need to know now. Like, that's going to be sick. Victor Wembanyama with a dude who can actually get him the fucking ball. Oh, Lord. That's why you're going to have all the nerds doing nerdgasms. And then Denver. Why are you excited to watch Denver? Jokic. Simple as that. So there's plenty of reasons to be excited about this. Boston, head kicking in. Spurs, Wemby with a fucking point guard. And Denver, Jokic. He's coming off a fucking pretty deep, awesome Olympic run. You've got Michael Porter Jr.'s prime. He needs to take a big step up. You've got Jam and Jamal Murray coming off Olympics. You've got a lot of young dudes, a lot of questions, but I'm excited to watch this Denver team just to see how it all fits together. And then to make fun of that fucking Calvin Booth go, no, we're fucking miles ahead. Look at us, light years. Check this out. We're just going to draft young dudes to replace old dudes because no one's ever tried that before. Fucking lunatic. Young and fun, the Chaos Engines. Why you should be excited about these teams? Orlando, I already mentioned this one. Paolo Banchero. And we just need to see Paolo Banchero go, check this out. I'm now a top 10 player. And if he does that, which is eminently fucking feasible, the dude's massive, he's super skilled, he can get a bucket fucking from anywhere on the court. The thing that sort of maybe might let Orlando down is, as I said, you can have a lot of dudes. So Houston, too many dudes. Orlando might have too many dudes as well, but they need those like 1-2 dudes to just really fucking pop. Otherwise, it could all sort of like flatten out, but that would be awesome. Paolo's unreal. Franz is very, very solid. If he can hit some fucking threes again, watch out. And then on top of that, you've got Jalen Suggs, you've got Johnny Isaac, that fucking lunatic, Wendell. And they've just got like fun, young, up and down sort of dudes. Jamal Mosley's a good coach. Orlando are going to be fun this year. And they're sort of that primed breakout team. It's like, wow, we made the playoffs. Yeah, and then you got your heads kicked in. Did you learn anything from it? Sometimes those teams hit that point and then sort of fall back a bit the next year. We saw it with Sacramento last year. But Orlando are that deep, it might not matter. The problem is they don't have a point guard though. It's like Jalen Suggs. They did get the notorious KCP, so they've got a little bit more veteran 3-and-D vibes. I don't mind that. But that team is going to be fun as. Indy, they made the Eastern Conference Finals. Remember that? You probably didn't, did you? They then got their heads kicked in by the Boston Celtics 4-0. But they got by the Knicks because the Knicks got hurt. Every fucking like round and player, they just got one less dude each game, the Knicks. And then the same thing happened to Indy. They just kept losing dudes. But Indy this year, reason to be excited for them, Benny Mathurin. He joins an Eastern Conference final contender. And Johnny Furphy. Fuck yes. Aussies, let's go on Indy. I'm excited. But as long as Tyrese Halliburton stays healthy, this team is going to be fun as shit to watch because they're just going to be out there going, hang on a second, we've got like the best point guard in the NBA. Fucking hell. Well, at least the best passing guard. And you got plenty of scoring around him now if you get Benny Mathurin back. It was like the big missing piece. So it's going to be fun to watch Indy. Memphis. Ja Morant twisted his ankle today. That's why I hate preseason, because you're like, the highlights are like either dudes dunking on people or hurting themselves. And you're like, this sucks. But Ja, he's back. Let's fucking go. That's all you need to know about Memphis this year. Ja, back. Let's fucking go. That's an excitement machine right there. The forgotten excitement machine. Sacramento. They're young and fun, and their games are fucking chaotic at the absolute best of times. And we sort of learned through it last year, like betting on Sacramento is just a fool's errand because you're like, hey, they're up 20. That's the most dangerous lead in the NBA. The Sacramento Kings up by 20. It's like, watch them blow this, boys. Check it out. But now they have DeMar DeRozan, which is kind of fun. Because, I don't know, is this like a, what is it, the fucking Planeteers? Was that Captain Planet? Producer Gerald? Yeah. With your powers combined, I am Captain. If they get De'Aaron Fox's clutch powers and DeMar DeRozan's clutch powers, does that turn them into clutch Captain Planet? I think this metaphor is running out of steam. But still, it just gives them a lot of options and also gives them an extra scorer where you're like, that's fucking good. Let's go. I think Sacramento, this should be the bounce back-ish kind of year after the last year sort of downturn from like all the hype, excitement. We know that their ceiling isn't probably as high as some of the other teams just because like Sabonis, building your team around Sabonis, his defensive deficiencies it probably caps how far you can go, but they're going to be fun anyway. Don't worry about it. And then we've got Charlotte. But Jim, aren't they shit? Yeah. But they're going to be fun as fuck to watch as long as LaMelo's healthy. Hey, ever see a dude just like jack up 33 footers as his team watches on? Yes, once. That's when his brother was doing it. Now you get to see the younger brother do it. But Charlotte, look, we saw it last year, Spindles Miller and a couple of their other young dudes popped a little bit. And you're like, hang on, is Charlotte kind of fun? And if you actually plug LaMelo into that shit, if he's fully healthy and can stay that way. And look, if you've been listening to the NBA Straya for a while, you know how I feel about the Ball family. I think it's fucked because they've played that much fucking basketball from such a young age. Their dad's such a psycho, never lost, like such a psycho, put him through the ringer time and time and time again. They get to the fucking NBA and their bodies are just like, dude, we've been playing basketball like 48 hours a day since we were like 4. My knees are shot. It's like, you're 12. Like, what are you doing? This is fucked. LaMelo like walks in a basketball court and he sounds like he's fucking just every like joint in his body is like creaking like me getting off the fucking couch. Anyway, Charlotte should be fun. They've also now got Josh Green. Love that for them. Not sure how it works out for Josh Green, but hopefully just get it. Like they've just talk about like dudes. They've got the dudes that you forget about, you know? It's like Brandon Spindles Miller. You've got that shithead Bridges. You've got fucking LaMelo. You've got like their Mark Williams, although, well, he got hurt as well in the preseason, but they've just got a bunch of dudes that'll be kind of fun if they're running up and back and forth. They've got a new coach in Charles Lee. They got Micic. Grant Williams is still on this team. Anyway, they're going to be fun. Right. But you should be excited for Charlotte. They can win 30 games without blinking. The Jigsaw Teams. Where you want to watch this because you want to see how it all fits together. And it could be really fucking fun. Philly, obviously. Paul George, Caleb Martin. How does that all fit next to Embiid and Tyrese Maxey? And is Jared McCain just like Tyrese Maxey but TikTok? Which I love. Hey, it's TikTok Tyrese. Nice. But look, Paul George, great, cool. For me, the Caleb Martin thing is like the fucking, hang on. Oh, God. Philly with usable wings? Like you put Caleb Martin in fucking Tobias Harris's spot last year. Philly probably win the entire fucking thing. Tobias Harris, you fucking giant spud. Anyway, Philly are going to be fascinating. Excited for seeing how that all works out. They've still got Big Booty Kyle Lowry on the bench and all that sort of shit. But Paul George, Caleb Martin, alongside Embiid and Tyrese Maxey, they sort of have just depth shooting. Kelly Oubre is still there. Like they're going to be fun. But how does it all fit? Nick Nurse is a good coach. I reckon he'll make it fit. Phoenix, same thing. Jigsaws, right? You got your big 3, air quotes. Let's call it a 2 and a third. Devin Booker, KD, and Brad Beal. And then everyone like flipping themselves like loose over like Taz Jones. It's like, oh man, now they've got Tyus Jones. They've got an actual point guard. There's a reason he's a backup. Let's all fucking pump the brakes on Tyus Jones. Like he's not Chris Paul the fucking second. He's decent. Thing is, that's better than what they had last year. So fucking why not? Let's get hyped. Phoenix, if they're healthy and stay healthy, how that all fits, it could be amazing. Like their ceiling is fucking just through the roof. They could be like the fucking 3 seed, 2 seed, whatever in the West, if it all clicks. But Kevin Durant's also 400 years old. So who knows what's going to happen. Devin Booker always gets hurt. Brad Beal always gets hurt. What's going to happen there? New Orleans, get excited, Zion. He's like, best shape of my life. And you're like, oh yeah? Did you quit banging porn stars? He's like, not on your life, pal. They did get DeJounte Murray though. Remember that trade? DeJounte Murray, out goes our man Dyson Daniels. He's in Atlanta. We'll talk about them in a second. But DeJounte, kind of an actual point guard in place of, you know, him next to CJ McCollum. It's still a bit of a janky fit. They've still got Spindles Ingram. They've got Zion. I just want to see how this fits. DeJounte, CJ, Zion, but I'm excited for New Orleans. They could really, really, really launch. They've got like wings coming out the fucking wazoo as well. So they're this great mix of like, I don't know, athleticism, defense. The only thing they might lack is probably shooting, but you can fix that. Atlanta, we just mentioned them. How do the Jigsaws fit here without DeJounte there? This is the thing. So they've got, remember how they had the number 1 pick? You probably forgot that as well. Zachary Richardson. But But the thing here is Jalen Johnson. Get excited for Jalen Johnson. He's got the world's most boring fucking NBA name, but he's got a sick game. You're going to love Jalen Johnson. You've still got Trae Young there, obviously. We've got him and Dyson Daniels. You've got Zachary Richardson. And there's just a weird sort of vibe in Atlanta where they could bottom out again. And you're like, what the fuck is this team? Or, because the East is so shit, they can just win a bunch of games. You're like, fucking, it makes sense. So let's find out. Jigsaws. The less fun than you think teams. But they're still fun. I'm still excited to watch them. But it won't be as much fun as you think. Chicago with P. Giddy. Am I allowed to make that joke, Producer Gerald, or not? Probably not. Josh Giddey, giddy up in there in Chicago with Kobe White. They're going to be kind of fun, but they're going to be shit, right? It's Kobe White. It's Giddey. It's going to be like this weird, janky fit. Vooch is still there, and no one, I'm convinced that Vooch has just got something going on with the Bulls owner's wife or something, and he's like, the owner just is too afraid to move him on because it'll come to light or something. It's fucking weird. There's no reason for him to be there. But they've got Patch Williams, they've got Mateus Buzelis, they've got Gids, they've got Kobe. They have this weird mix of old dudes like Vooch and Zach LaVine is still there. The biggest trade chip that'll help fucking nobody. And that's another one this year. This would be exciting for Bulls fans. They're like, what can we get for Zach LaVine? Probably less than you think because he's kind of shit. But anyway, Chicago, they'll be kind of fun, but less fun than you think, Because I just think it's a janky fit. Cleveland, same sort of vibe. They do have Kenny Atkinson. They've got a new coach. I like that. But Mobley and Allen and Donnie and Darius, how does it all fit? They made the playoffs last year. They made the second round. I just don't know how it fits and if it's good. So I think it's going to be a little bit less fun than you think. But when they got up and about last year, it was pretty fun. So can Kenny make that work straight away? I just don't really buy it. Milwaukee, Damon Giannis, Jim. Damon Giannis. I'm excited for Damon Giannis, but the rest of this team is old as fuck. So it'll be less fun than you think. And Doc Rivers teams aren't necessarily the most fucking fun teams to watch in the NBA. But Milwaukee, look, that is a team with crazy upside and terrifying lows. Miami, same sort of vibe. You've got Jimmy Butler, bam! And there goes my hero. And nothing else. What is this Miami team at this point? How do you care? Oh, they scare Boston. No, they don't. Boston kicked their fucking heads in last year and won the title. Boston's not afraid of anybody now. Oh, watch out for playoff Jimmy. He's 427 years old. I don't think anyone's afraid of playoff Jimmy anymore. Bam Adebayo's going to shoot 100 threes. Great. Is he going to make any of them? Let's find out. They're exciting for the simple fact that Tyler Hero could go kapow, but the rest of this team is bereft, I tell you, of real excitement. So there'll be less fun than you think. Car crash potential. This is why it's fun. Because you go, oh, Jesus, as you're driving past, you're going, fucking, what happened there? But it could also be gnarly. You're always going to be on 10 hooks. The Lakers and the Clippers. We're just going both LA teams. Easy. Lakers, they got JJ Redick. He's like, this is going to be sick. Oh, I shouldn't be swearing during press conferences. And everyone's like, oh, JJ, you're so fun. But my favorite thing is I love Lakers fans when they get really, really optimistic. It's like, who's beating this team 4 times? And it's like, the team that beat this team 4 times less than 5 months ago, because that's the same team, but older. Bronny James is not saving this fucking team, you know what I'm saying? What are we doing here? It's like LeBron, fucking AD, Rui Hachimura, D'Lo still being trotted out. And then you got the White Mamba, and you're like, who's going to beat this team 4 times? Fucking, I don't know, 11 other teams in the West probably? At a fucking, conservative guess. The same thing goes for the Clippers. It's like, who's going to beat this team? It's like, they might be the 13th seed. What are you talking? They're fucked. Kawhi's already got a fucked knee. He's like, my knee is fucked. And it's like Steve Ballmer's like, yeah, we're going to open up this new arena. And it's like, no one's going to be there to watch James Harden and Kawhi Leonard in 2024 not play. Ugh. Just look at that Clippers roster. It's fucked. And you have these moments where you're like, this could be kind of funny because remember, they have to switch picks this year with the Thunder. The most Clippers thing in the world is doing what they did with Kyrie again, right? Where they win the lottery, but they don't own their pick and it goes to Cleveland and Kyrie goes to Cleveland. Amazing year. People forget about that one with the Baron Davis trade. But the Clippers, they owe their pick, well, a swap with OKC. And the most OKC shit in the world would be getting SGA, getting all these Clippers picks, and then getting Cooper fucking Flag with the number one overall pick from the Clippers, which would be funny as. But there's like, they've got Harden, T-Man, Derek Jones Jr., Kawhi, and Zoobs. In the West, how the fucking far is that team going? That's a play-in team at best, isn't it? Ugh. Because like you've got Kawhi, he's like, I'm going to definitely play 62 games. And you're like, oh God, that feels fucking optimistic. But anyway, I'm excited to see how they go without Paul George, but it is definitely car crash potential for this Clippers team as well as the Lakers. And the same thing goes for the Warriors. I'm always going to be excited to watch Steph Curry. It's basketball crack. It's fucking just fire up that pipe, boom, let's go. And Draymond, he's just like, old man Draymond, over under how many games he gets suspended this year? 13 and a half? Like, I don't think you get less racist towards Eastern Europeans as you get older, if you're Draymond. He's like, I've got a fucking Serbian neighbor, I hate him, and he sees fucking Jokic on the court, he's like, fucking bang! It's all inside him all the time. He's just ready to pop. That's why it's going to be exciting. But really, for me, the excitement thing for the Warriors is cum bucket. Johnny Kuminga. Like, it's just going to be like, can he be awesome? Come on, prove it, Johnny. That's like fucking people with the Warriors are, oh, Podziemski. Podziemski's fucking fine. There's 1 million Podziemskis in the fucking league. You've got Steph, you've got Draymond, you need cum bucket to pop. That's not a sentence I ever thought I'd be saying, but here we are. Go Warriors. All right, and then the other, ew. Okay. Fun, but ew. Toronto. What the fuck is this team? I love the NBA because you have like aura, not around Jason Tatum, but auras around like executives is always fun. So Masai Ujiri is like, wins a title and is like, yeah, motherfucker, check out the size of my schlong. Well, thank. And then is just shit for like the next fucking 5 years. And you're like, how's that? Maybe you should have taken that job in New York. I'm just saying. But they've got Scoob, they've got RJ Barrett, they've got Quickly. They've got Teenage Mutant Jakob Poeltl. What else should they got? Yeah, it should be weird, that one. Toronto could be in for a long season. But because the bottom of the East is shit, they could still be like the 5th worst team. So, Portland, they might be the worst team in the West. Shaden Sharp's already injured, but they do still have Scoot, Anthony Penny-Simons. They've got Denny Avdija from the Brogdon trade, which I love. They've Jeremy Grant and Dominaton are still on this team. They've got 4 centers, like Dominaton. You've got Donovan Clingan. You've got Doo-Up, Bop, Bop, Doo-Up, our beloved Doo-Up Wreath. And of course, like Time Lord is still there. So they're worth a trade. But the thing about this Portland team is like you can see at least the outline of like a pretty fucking fun, weird, strange team that's just built on athleticism and just doing cool shit. Don't know if Chauncey Billups is the coach to pull it all together, but you should still be excited to see just some weird, fun basketball Portland Blazers fans. Utah are the other one of like, fun, but ew. Fun, but ew. Lowry, fun. All the other dudes, ew. Like Keontae George, fun. Kobe Williams might win Rookie of the Year. We don't know. Jeremy Clarkson. I don't know about this. This team is weird. They overachieved 2 years ago, then went in the tank. Last year sort of started off weird, then went in the tank. What are they? We're going to find out this year. There's some good things on that team. You know why they're going to be really fun and why you should be excited about them though, Producer Gerald? Those awesome throwback uniforms. The purples, they look fucking beautiful. Patty Mills, he's out there in that beautiful I got to get that. I'm fucking all over those Patty Mills jerseys. They got the Mountains jerseys. They're just absolute delish. I love them. And then we have the final tier. You should be still excited about these teams if you are watching them, but you might also want to gouge your eyes out. Just fucking like start tearing. Brooklyn. Why should you be excited, Jim? I got 2 words for you. Ben Simmons. Why are you excited? Well, I can't wait to see him get hurt. No, he's not going to get hurt. He's going to be fully healthy all year. And he'll prove everybody wrong. No, I can't even talk myself into it. The idealized version of a healthy Ben Simmons would be fun. Can I say that? That sounds about right, doesn't it? The idealized version of a healthy Ben Simmons. There's so many qualifiers in that sentence that it's like, we should be okay. Shoot some threes. Just do it for fucking shits and giggles at this point. Like, it'd be fucking funny. Just do it. But they're going to like just let the dudes loose, like Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, all these dudes. They're just going to be like, we need to trade you guys. So have at it, I guess. And poor Jordy Fernandez, their new coach, is like, why am I getting tagged with 70 losses in my first year in the NBA? That's a big hole to dig out of. But anyway, Brooklyn, they're going to be fucking horrible. But Ben Simmons, Cam Johnson, Dorian Finney-Smith, trade chips? Question mark. Detroit basketball. Gouge your eyes out, but they've got a new coach as well. Should be a little bit more fun, a little bit more conducive to half-decent basketball. And if they can just stay healthy, Cade, Jaden Ivey, Orsar Thompson. Remember, we figured out which Thompson twin they've got. It's Orsar. Amen's on Houston, I think. But they also, the thing is, they got Tobias Harris. He's coming home. Tobias Harris, Malik Beasley, Tim Hardaway Jr. They've actually got a couple of decent-ish shooting veterans to make up for all their shit non-shooting young dudes. So it'll be interesting to see this mix. They're still going to suck, like without fail. But there should be some fun nuggets in there. Fun nuggets. Not the Denver Nuggets, but like, it's like the opposite of the fun nuggets I find in the baby's nappy. Like, that's not a fun nugget. That is fucking horrible. Anyway, Detroit should at least have a direction. And they should spend this year figuring it out. And then finally, Washington. You should be excited about this, Washington fans, all 17 of you, because they'll probably trade Jordan Poole. They'll probably trade Kyle Kuzma. Because Alexander Sarr is there now. That's a joke. So this is 100% a development year for all their young dudes in Washington. Bilal Coulibaly, Alexander Sarr, stuff like that. Bub Carrington. Remember him? Bub Carrington? Love that. They've just got young dudes coming out the wazoo. Corey Kispert's still there. You've got a chance to just go, fuck it, full youth movement. The problem is they've got Brogdon, Kuzma, and Jordan Poole still in this team. So they'll be shit. They'll be unwatchable at times. But they'll think they're not shit. So that'll be kind of funny. We'll see what happens. But I want to see how Sarr fits next to... They got my name is Jonas Valanciunas on this team for some reason, remember? So they've got Sarr next to Valanciunas. They've got, these veterans in Kuzma and fucking Poole and Brogdon. So they can trot out lineups where you're like, that looks like an NBA team. That's going to be weird when they should just be tanking as hard as they can to go get Cooper Flag. Either way, it'll be kind of fun. See what happens. Right, there you go. That's all 30 teams. We hit 30 teams and why should we be excited for them? That's fun as. Those tiers are pretty good. So remember, appointment viewing, subset of that, Nerdgasms, the young and fun chaos engines, the Jigsaws. Not like the ones from, what was that movie with Jigsaw? Fucking Saw. Yeah, that's all right. Remember the dude from Recovery was in that movie? Lee Winnell, whatever his name was. I remember meeting like a mate, and he was a mate of his. He's like, yeah, he's just rich now. And you're like, the dude from Recovery. Yeah, cool. Anyway, the less fun than you think teams, the car crash potential teams, the fun moments, but ew, and then the gouge your eyes out factors. But all 30 teams, and this is kind of my point to come to the end of this, all 30 teams this year have something awesome about them to watch that you can dig into and go, even Washington, Brooklyn, Detroit, these shit teams where you're just like, oh, you can watch these young dudes on those teams and go, well, that's interesting. Look at Cam Thomas. He just put up 50 again. No one else in Brooklyn's shooting, so he's just fucking going for it. That's awesome. And that's kind of the cool part. So I think one of the other ones that we'll do next week is the ranking all of the duos and going through each team's best duo. I literally did that on the train on the way in today. I'm like, just off the top of my head, I'm like, and I got to like 25 duos and I'm like, that'd be fucking fun. We might struggle with the bottom 5, but we'll get there. It's all right. Speaking of fun, let's do some player fun rankings. All right. Close this one out today. Top 5 rookies I am most excited for. So, as the preseason's gotten underway, It's one of those nice little reminder sessions of like, oh yeah, he plays there. Or, oh yeah, they drafted that dude. Number 1, who are you most excited to see, Jim? Johnny fucking Furphy, the Aussie on Indy. Let's bloody go. Johnny Tins, we call him. Oh, Johnny Froths. Wouldn't mind knocking back a couple of Johnny Furphys tonight, I'll tell you. But Johnny Furphy's going to be fun as hell when he gets out there. Number 2, Reed Sheppard, a.k.a. Meth Curry. I'm going to leave that one there. Meth Curry. Do you want to pick it up and take it or not? Do we like Meth Curry? Meth Curry from downtown. He's going to be awesome. Trust me, Reed Sheppard, here for it. Stefan Castle, he dunked on our beloved Alex Dukas today. I don't like it when you dunk on Aussies, but that dude is fucking like A-grade weaponized fucking basketball crack at times. So I can't, a lot of drug references today, Gerald. What is going on? But Stefan Castle is awesome. Absolutely awesome. Like dunking on fucking Alex Dukas sucks, but anyway. Zach Edey, number 4. People losing their mind about Zach Edey is pretty funny. It's like, whoa, what can't he do? And it's like, all right, he's basically Jonas Valanciunas. Let's all fucking pump the brakes. It's just, I can't wait to see him in an NBA game. But more importantly, I probably can't wait to see him in an NBA game in like March. Like, how has he adapted to the athleticism? How has he adapted to the speed? Is he able to use his size and everything like that to his advantage? I can't wait to see the bit of Zach Edey. And then, of course, Jared McCain, a.k.a., I don't know, what we say, TikTok Tyrese. So he's basically Tyrese Maxey, but for TikTok. It's going to be like fucking Spider-Man meme, he and Tyrese Maxey, which will be fun. I want to see him in action. And the sort of like honorable mention, it was like either going to be McCain versus Buzelis. The problem is Chicago is such a fucking dumpster fire at all times. They never know when to play their young dudes. Like, it takes them that long to get their own heads out of their ass to go, fuck, hang on a second, is Kobe White good? And they spent half of last year going, fuck, Kobe White's good. Are we sure? Yeah, Kobe White's good. And letting him cook. I do not trust them with Buzelis. Chicago's fucked. So, yeah, I just don't know how much of them we're going to see. But I can't wait to see how he actually fits. Because if anyone else is in charge in Chicago, you could sort of go, fucking cool, man. You got Giddey, you've got Levine, you've got Kobe, you've got Patch, you've got Buzelis. You've got like a raft of young dudes that could be kind of fun. But there is no way they're going to make it fun because Chicago's fucked in the head. There's the rookies. Like, there's also like Sarr and Ricochet and shit. Like Cody Williams, I think will be awesome for Utah. But I think those are the 5 that I'm just like, whoo, I just want to fucking lock in and actually watch them. It's going to be fun as. Johnny Furphy, cannot wait. Top 5 players I just can't wait to see in 2025. I just want to see them on the court. I'm so excited to see them on the court. Ja Morant, number 1. He just like missed fucking like a year and a half. Oh, Bang Bang Ja, they call him. So we'll see what happens with Ja, especially with this fucking ankle sprain. Like, I just want him to come into a season with a clean bill of health once and just go off because he could win the MVP. That's how good Ja Morant is. Ja Morant is a fucking weapon. And Memphis just know how to put him in a position to succeed. Give me Ja. I talk about this on the AFL Today show all the time. Like, just give me footy. Like, the fucking Homer and the donut machine. I'm just like Ja Morant. Just like fucking all the Ja Morant highlights. Just fucking throw them at me. The other dude in that draft, Zion. Same. If he's healthy, let's fucking go. He could be unstoppable. He could win the MVP. It could be awesome. I can't fucking wait to see more Zion. He stopped banging porn stars, apparently. He's like in the best shape of his life. He's actually going to try on defense. I'll believe it when I see it. But at the same time, I'm excited to see it if it actually does happen. It could be awesome. Fucking love me some Zion. Number 3, post-Olympic Wemby. This is an obvious one. Wemben fucking Yama. Could he win the MVP this year? Could he go top 5? Who fucking knows? He could. The dude's he's got an actual point guard now. That's going to be nuts. But talk about like ceiling raisers. Getting Chris Paul for Victor Wembanyama is like a fucking cheat code. Like, that's like NBA Jam when you just go, I don't know, cross, triangle, square, back. And like suddenly they have big heads and they're always on fire. Like that's what that is, right? Getting Chris Paul for Wemby. Fuck me. Wemby's going to be awesome. After the experience of being in Gay Paris for the Olympics, it's going to be fun as hell. That's going to be sick. LaMelo. So much of this is just like healthy, like dudes coming back healthy, right? LaMelo. The weirdest thing is like how many kids' jerseys you see out. Like if you go go to the basketball, if you're fucking anywhere, and you know me, fucking hoops life. What's up? But it's just weird that you see so many kids in LaMelo jerseys. Like, he's played 8 games. Like, what are we doing? Like, this is it's fucking strange. And it's like, oh, well, he looks 12 and he's still got his braces, so you can see why teenagers are into it. But if he's healthy, Charlotte you have to watch them. You have to watch him. Like, it's just fucking chaos all the time. So I can't wait. And Chet Holmgren is the last one here because we've got Wemby. How about Chet? Like, next to SGA, you sort of talk about like usage rates in OKC if you want to go real nerd shit. But taking Josh Giddey off that team, going SGA, J-Dub, Chet. That's the fucking hierarchy, boys. Now have at it. That's going to be massive. Chet could be an absolute weapon this year. Can't wait. And he's also got Isaiah Hartenstein behind him now, so he's actually got like another big man to go with. Not bad. Honorable mentions, New Diggs Julius Randle, New Diggs Cat. I can't wait to see this. Julius Randle playing fucking bully ball in Minnesota. Kind of don't mind it. And Karl Anthony Towns, the big bodega. How's that going to go in New York? They're going to fucking hate him when he gets like 4 rebounds in a playoff game. But until then, can't wait to see it. And Steven Adams. He's healthy. I just can't wait. Remember, we didn't get Steven Adams at all last year. And so doing the diary of Steven Adams just felt weirdly disrespectful on the show. So I just didn't do it that much. Oh, bro, dear diary, remember that? Yeah, I used to do it all the time because he was always playing. It was always fun. Then he was out all season. It just felt weird. Anyway, he's on Houston. He's hanging out with Jock Landale. That's going to be unreal. Fucking who doesn't love it? This is like a buddy comedy right there, isn't it? Fucking Steven Adams, bro. Oh, g'day there. My big friend Jock Landale, bro. Yeah, it's one Aussie and one Kiwi, bro. It's like a fucking, the 2 centers. 2 centers. That's going to be awesome, bro. Oh, don't call it the Twin Towers, Gerald. Why would you say that? Oh, Jesus, Gerald. Have some respect. Anyway, Jack McVeigh's like, oh, fix that. Anyway, Jack McVeigh's too busy yelling at his wife. Right. Julius Randle and Cat, though, I did bring this up. Like, one's got that dog in them and one's literally called Cat. So, yeah, we'll find out. And then finally, to wrap all this one up in a bow, what are you all excited about? We're excited about rookies. We're excited about these players. Who are the 5 most intriguing fucking prove-it players this year? Like the ones like we've got dudes coming back from injuries and I can't wait to see them. We've got these rookies there, this fucking fresh slate. Who knows what could happen with their careers? These guys, they're intriguing. How do they fit? Can they prove that they belong where they are or are they going to have to figure some shit out? Paul George. Paul fucking George. For years in playoff P. Check out my awesome Gatorade ad where I make a fucking buzzer beater, which he'd never made in his fucking life until that point. Anyway, Paul George goes to the Clippers after being in Indy, OKC, all this sort of shit. They do nothing. He has like a couple of moments of like fucking MVP, maybe. And then just it all flames out. He gets hurt. Something fucking goes wrong. It's just the story of Paul George's career. Almost, but not there. Like he's good, not great. He's an amazing basketball player, but he's never won shit, right? Now, you get to be the world's most qualified fucking Robin to the world's maybe not greatest Batman in Joel Embiid. This is fucking fascinating. Like, this is so intriguing. And like, this is why I'm so excited to watch this Philly season unfold because it's fucked in their head. It could just go absolutely apeshit. I cannot wait. Sign me up. Paul George, what are you? This is a Tism thing. What are you? Are you a yob or a wanker? We're about to find out. Let's go. There you go. A bit of a Tism drop. Fucking who throws that in? Not many NBA shows will have Tism drops in them. Nailed it. Anyway, Paul George, number 1. Number 2, Karl Anthony Towns. We hit on this already. The New York Knickerbockers of New York City, the big bodega. Can you be the man in the center for the New York Knicks? Simple as that. A hallowed tradition of Patrick Ewing and Amari Stoudemire, Tyson Chandler. It's not a really long and story. Like you go all the way back to Willis Reed and co. But at the same time, the Karl Anthony Towns toughness factor is going to be fascinating because there is a dude who just like says the dumbest shit in the fucking world. Like, I appreciate my athletes with like at least a hint of self-appreciation and understanding what they say and being thoughtful and kind of interesting. And Kat will just say stuff, and you're like, are you a fucking dumbass? Like, what? I love you. And I like that he's like, he can also be really open and really emotional, which is really good. Like all the stuff about his mum and stuff like that and grandma, like amazing. But at the same time, just says the dumbest shit as well. Anyway, he could just get eaten alive by New York or could thrive where he's not the most important player, where they've got Bridges, they've got Brunson, they've got OG, they've got all these dudes. He's like much more a part of a collective. It's going to be fascinating. I'm intrigued by how that goes. Number 3, Josh Giddey. Giddy up. What are you, Josh? Well, he's a friend of the program because he was on the show. Remember that? That was fun. New digs in Chicago. It felt like in the Olympics. He's like, check this out. 3 ball, bang. It was such a nice little fuck you to like everybody going, Josh Giddey's shit, he can't shoot threes. What you doing? Keep hitting threes, Josh. That's all I want to see. But I am so intrigued by his fit in Chicago and what this means for his like actual entire NBA career sort of from this point forward. What does it mean? How does he fit? Can he shoot? Can he use his size to play a bit of D? Can he set up those fucking teammates there in Chicago? Let's find out. Free reign, Josh Giddey. Free reign. Number 4, Ant-Man. Intrigued by this. They got rid of Cat. They've got Julius Randle. Is that going to work? Could he win the MVP? Who fucking knows? Like the range of expectation there for Ant-Man this year is fucking psychotic. It goes from like, they made a Western Conference Finals last year. Don't forget. Again, this is just a reminder show apparently. Remember when? Remember when they made the Western Conference Finals? I remember. But they made the Western Conference Finals. They got fucking steamrolled by Dallas. You'd expect Ant-Man to not let that happen again, right? Right? Well, no, he doesn't have Cat. This is his show and his show only. So I'm fascinated to see if he just goes, check this out, I'm Michael Jordan mixed with Scottie Pippen, mixed with Russell Westbrook, mixed with Derrick Rose. And you're like, that's fucking pretty cool. Right? It could happen. That's a range of the outcomes. We're going to do a bell curve. It's at the very end. Now this is maths with Jim. I fucking sucked at maths. Really? But I thought you were math, what am I, math magician? Yeah. I'm no math scientist though. But Ant-Man could be MVP. It could all just get too hard and too wonky. Don't know, but I believe in Ant-Man. And number 5, the most intriguing player, going back to the well, Ben Simmons. Like, what are you? We're going Tism again. Yobber a wanker, do. What is Ben Simmons in the year 2024? The number 1 pick from fucking what, 2016? Like, who knows? He fucking doesn't know. Like, does he know? Does he know that he's a basketball player? He's like, nah, man, people are just, they're writing me off. They don't know what's going to happen. It's like, of course we don't, because you don't fucking play. You sat out a year because you were sooking. Then you got your back smashed out by Maya Jama, which is completely fine. Jesus. Oh, anyway. Outside of that, though, what have you done? Since you passed up the ball in that Atlanta series, Ben Simmons has barely played a meaningful fucking NBA minute. So, he is one of the most intriguing NBA players this year because if he can come back, be a defensive menace on one end, be an awesome fucking athletic point guard on the other, set some dudes up, we're all going to get sucked back in. It's going to happen. I want to quit it. I just want to like fucking either, like, I just want him to be good or fuck off. Like there's just this middle ground of, oh, he's hurt again. You're like, fucking who cares? I want Ben Simmons just to be healthy and show us what he can do for an entire season in Brooklyn or wherever he gets traded to after that. Let's go. Just do it. I'm wildly intrigued by Ben Simmons. Wildly. Outside of that, honorable mentions, Josh Green in Charlotte. That's going to be fun as fuck just to see how much of a run he gets. Oh, and the other big news was sort of Dante Exum hurting his wrist, which sucks. So we don't have an update on that though, which is why I didn't have it on the run sheet because I'm like, it happened like last week. And it's like, oh, well, fingers crossed he's okay. Nothing yet. So hopefully it's not season ending. Fucking hell. Because he had such an awesome run last year. Yeah, into the Olympics, out of the Olympics. Healthy Dante is unreal. Luke Travers in Cleveland, if he sticks around. Jack McVay, like this is all very intriguing from the Aussie point of view, but we'll cover that probably next week when we go through. I think we're going to do the team win over-unders next week as well as the Aussie outlook for everybody, which would be kind of fun. So that'll do us for today though. That was the fun show. Optimism. Are you excited? Let's get a healthy Ben Simmons out there and see what happens. That'd just throw me for a loop. Because I think we're going to change it to better than Ben Simmons this year rather than better than Lonzo Ball, because that's just kicking a dude while he's down. Geez, Jim, is Ben Simmons up and about? Well, he's working out, so he's probably fine. I love that cycle as well. Ben Simmons working out, Ben Simmons hurt, Ben Simmons sitting out. We're here. I like that. Optimism. That's what it's all about. All right, but that'll do us for today. Anyway, we'll be back, as mentioned. We're going to do another one next week. I like the Tuesday. Sort of lets me sort of set it up for Monday, write everything, go into Tuesday, tape it, and then we'll sort of get into the much as we get close to the season. We'll have a couple more released for you. So team wins next week, I reckon, which is always a massive one, and the Aussie Outlook. And then we'll also have awards, all that sort of shit, all the fun stuff. We'll do the NBA Straya predictions as well, which is like who's going to be the first coach fucking fired, who do you want to have beers with the most, all that sort of good stuff. But anyway, that'll all be in the future. So in the meantime, get around the NBA Straya social pages. What do we got? Twitter, Facey, IG, but more importantly, TikTok. Going nuts. Going nuts on NFL Straya too. Speaking of which, go check out NFL Straya as well as the AFL Today Show, the AFLW Today Show that we've got, Football Today Podcast, Cricket Today Podcast, hold all tickets if you like your horsies. All the good stuff there. Get around all of them on YouTube. What is it? Spotify, Apple Podcasts. Rate, review, and star them, or I'll fucking fight you. I will. If you've listened to this show and you've not rated or subscribed or starred it or commented, you'll get a fucking knock on the door. And it'll be your mate Jim going, fucking explain yourself, pal. What are you doing? What are you doing? Jump in the YouTube comments as well. We'll read them out next week, all the good stuff. Big thanks always go to From Oslo for the intro and outro song. They rule. Go check them out. As well as House Hats, Joshua De Laurentiis, Fascinated Goldmines, Ramshack Alami, Iowa, Section Green, and Doze is there behind all the other tunes you hear throughout the show. So check them all out. Bandcamp, Triple J and Earth, Facey, Apple Music, Spotify. Have you listened to your tunes? NBA Straya Sports Australian Band. So should you. All right, that'll do it for this week. We'll be back next week with more season preview gear. I'm fired up. We might even have some other little shorts. We'll have the top 5 sort of cut out as well. Might do another couple of little top 5s throughout the week that I'm getting excited for. This is Optimism Week. Optimism Week here on NBA Straya. Don't mind this. All right, until next week, look after yourselves. This is NBA Straya saying, later, and now.